Second set. Shriver to serve.
Server waiting for the ball person to pick up some paper that is blown on the court.
Love 15.
I've always found, Virginia, that this is a hard game to win after you've won a hard-fought set, haven't lost your serve, and you open the second set serving.
It's very important, too, at the beginning of the second set. You don't want to let up. And that's a great serve. But I somehow have a feeling that Pam's so confident that she's not fazed by having won that set at all. That's what she was expecting to do. She's won it, and I have a feeling she might start beginning to overwhelm Zina. Who knows?
30-15.
30-15.
Well, she certainly did just what you said yesterday against Chris Evert.
Yeah.
After winning that very hard-fought first set. Pam's knocking those volleys off from everywhere. Shoe tips, shoulder height. At the moment, she is in control.
She's reached those 6 finals. She's won 2 tournaments this year.
Won Birmingham and Newport, both on grass courts, her favorite surface.
But she hasn't lost a match since she lost to Steffi Graf in Wimbledon.
Game, Shriver.
Pam holds service. She has a 1-love lead in the second set. Won the first set 6-4. The Players' Challenge continues in a moment.
Quiet, please. Thank you.
Second set, Pam Shriver leading Zina Garrison 2-1. Shriver won the first set 6-4.
Well, I'm sure she's relieved to have made that one because it looked as if it had deserted her, that backhand.
Back on in the groove.
That's not a bad little stack of money that she's made in her career. Just
30-love.
And keep in mind that Zina was off the tour for 2 months this summer after suffering a stress fracture in her left foot. Missed both the French Open and Wimbledon. But she's very keen and eager this week, going for 2 titles.
The wind lost that ball for her. And she said that after she was on the sidelines and couldn't play those tournaments, she realized how much she missed playing. And you can see that it is pretty rough out here in the wind. Fortunately, they recessed down in a hollow here, so it's much more protected. It's funny how it's just deserted her for a while.
Second double fault. 30-all.
Actually, under these difficult conditions, I'm surprised the players haven't served a number of double faults. They've been very good in serving.
been managing to serve and volley or come to the net so well today, Zina, but she is a little bit vulnerable to the lob. She doesn't really like to hit overheads. Now, that was an awfully good lob over her backhand. But she's really in trouble now. Break point down.
Well left by Pam Shriver for the service break.
Shriver leads 3 games to 1.
3-1 Shriver. She won the first set.
There may be no denying Pam Shriver, the 1987 Players Challenge Championship.
The old saying, second time lucky, I don't think would imply, because she is winning this with great skill and not a lot of luck.
Love 15.
I just put the whammy on her, though, Peter. Served, I believe, her first double fault.
That was a pretty confident second serve. You see that she won more sets from Navratilova. She should have beaten her on a couple of those occasions, too. She led Martina at Eastbourne this year a set and 2-love and 40-love and missed a sitter of a backhand volley and went on to lose that match. But I can't help feeling that one of the reasons that Pam is playing so well is because Martina hasn't been quite as good this year. You know, I think psychologically they realize that Martina, who's been dominating for so long, has shown that she's human. And so the others have said, hey, listen, there's room for me out here. Pam started, I felt, playing really well at the end of last year, got herself into shape, did a few other things. So she wasn't quite as introverted and about her tennis and putting as much pressure on herself, able to be more objective. It's a good return.
30-all.
Ever since that net, it has been patchy, hasn't it?
Quality has dropped off just a shade, but still some wonderful shots being hit by both participants.
Oh! 3-1. Shriver leads. Second set.
Shriver showing there how she had to sort of change direction about 3 different times because of the ball blowing in the wind. Let's take another look at that. She's all set to hit the overhead, changes to have to hit the high backhand shot. 40-30.
Scorching backhand by Zina Garrison. Deuce.
One time with a let cord.
Deuce.
Didn't do Pam Shriver any good. Gives Garrison an opportunity to make the passing shot.
She just closes in on that forehand volley so well.
And that's been her best serve whenever she's been in trouble, serving down the middle in the deuce court.
It's hard to read which way Pam serves. Just as she makes contact with the ball, she uses her wrist to direct it. So it's hard to read.
Game
Serve.
Pam Shriver holds serve.
Shriver leads 4 games to 1.
And the Players' Challenge will continue after this.
Quiet, please. Good.
Zina Garrison at a point in the match where she desperately has to hold service. Shriver leads 4-1 second set. Pam won the first set 6-4.
You feel with these two players that if both are playing at their best, then Pam should be the winner just by an edge, and their world ranking makes a difference. So that just shows that difference. Pam is number 5, Zina number 7. 2 years difference in age.
They're playing for $40,000 difference in prize money too today.
Yeah.
But as Zina said yesterday, the prize money didn't mean that much to her. But I can't believe that the 40 grand extra wouldn't make a difference.
Well, listen, you know, they're doing all right anyway, so now they're going for glory. But
40-15.
Barry got the edge of the line. But Pam has had a lot more experience. That 2 years makes a big difference. And although Pam, as I said, was 25 this year, it seems as if she has been around for ages. We realized yesterday playing Chris, the first time she played Chris was in 1978, the final of the US Open. She burst onto the scene with that semi-final victory against Martina then.
And you know, that's 9 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, she's a veteran and she's a mere kid.
Oh! 40-30, 4-1 Shriver lead. Zina might have waited too long. And did.
Deuce.
Deuce. Big point for Zina right here. Two big lobs in a row and 2 big points for Pam Shriver. And she has a break point to go up 5-1.
Garrison attempting a desperation shot.
Great shot.
Pam's a game away.
You know, seeing Pam play as well as this, it just reminds me of what a good year it has been for women's tennis this year. It's all come alight with changes of the scene, and Steffi Graf moving into the #1 position just a few days ago. Normally the period after Wimbledon before the US Open is sort of a little bit quiet. This year it's all been happening. That fantastic Federation Cup, the US Open should be terrific.
Pam Shriver 3 points away.
And if form means anything, Shriver should win this 6-1, because in the second set yesterday against Everett, she won the set 6-1, and the night before against Sabatini, it was second set 6-1.
Oh. 30 love.
The US Open draw could be so interesting, because depending on where Pam is in it, she's...
Match point. 40 love.
And Shriver has not lost her serve up to this point in the match.
Like to go out and love, and does just that. A runner-up last year, but this year there is no denying Pam Shriver, her major upset win over Chris Evert on Saturday, and today she maintained that high level of play that brings her the Canadian Open title at the Players' Challenge.
Shriver wins 2-0, 6-4, 6-1.
The hug from her coach as Pam Shriver wins it 6-4, 6-1.
Ladies and gentlemen, it now gives me great pleasure in presenting a check for $70,000 and the Players' Challenge trophy to our champion. From the United States, Ms. Pam Shriver.
Well, the fans are applauding for you, Pam, and they've been yelling great match and great tournament. That's what it's been for you.
It has been a super week, my best ever. Probably the only week that could have been better is if Chris and I had won in Vancouver 3 weeks ago, Federation Cup, but you can't have everything. And to go into the U.S. Open, having won the Canadian Open and beat 3 consecutive players in the top 10, Chris Evert in particular, it's fantastic. Now I just got to have a good training week and rest up and go into the Open full steam ahead, because it'll be very interesting if I can maintain this level of play.
Tough for you to get up after beating Chris Evert yesterday to try to reach that emotional level that you must have achieved to beat her after 18 tries?
Well, fortunately, it was done early in the afternoon. I was off the court by about 2:30, and even though it was an emotional match, the score was 4-1, so it was actually routine, and it wasn't like I was all tied up at 4-all in the third and pulled it out. I wasn't that stiff or sore today. Most times the day after I played Chris, I'm creaking a bit. So part of that's because I won easily, and the other part is I'm in a little better shape. So I made sure last night when I went out to dinner that I just, even though I was celebrating beating Chris for the first time, I knew I had one more match ahead. That was always on my mind. I was scared to death that I'd come out here today and not perform as well as I would like. And as it turns out, I served well, and I played a very smart match. She played a fine first set. I was very fortunate that I dug it out.
I know you break for the final game, and then you get a chance to serve to start the second set. That helps out considerably.
Yeah, to start both sets serving is fantastic. That's my game, to try and get on top early and to get a lot of first serves in. And I guess the shot of the match, I'm thinking back, is probably the set point when I played a good little cross-court backhand return and then played a half-volley lob over a backhand side. You know, those are the kind of points that you got to be a little lucky to pull off on set point, but that's the way it's been this week.
I can't resist this one last question. $70,000, the championship, 80,000 fans here, a new record. Pat Cash might have to eat his words a little bit.
Well, you see, he said that only the top 4 could play decent tennis, so I've been number 5, and that's my big aim, to get to number 4, because then, according to Pat Cash, I play great tennis, so I guess I've got it made then.
Congratulations on the Canadian Open title. Best of luck at the U.S.
Thanks very much.
Pam Shriver, our gracious champion here at the Players' Challenge.